Welcome to Language Unlocked, the podcast that helps you navigate the world in English, one practical conversation at a time. I'm your host, Anya.
And I'm Mark, your guide to making those tricky English situations a little less, well, tricky. Today, Anya, we're tackling a topic that can be quite daunting for anyone, let alone someone learning a new language: going to the doctor.
Absolutely, Mark. The input text we're working with today is simply titled, Going to the Doctor in English, Slow, Easy Conversation for Beginners. And that really sets the stage for what we want to achieve. It's about empowering our listeners to handle what can be a very vulnerable and important situation.
Exactly, because when you're not feeling well, the last thing you want is to struggle to explain what's wrong. Your health is paramount, and clear communication with a medical professional is absolutely critical. Imagine waking up with a terrible headache or a persistent cough and trying to convey that in a language you're still mastering. It can be incredibly stressful.
It can indeed. So our goal today is to break down this experience into slow, easy conversation pieces. Just as our input text suggests, we'll give you the tools to approach a doctor's visit with more confidence, even if your English is just starting out.
Let's start even before you get to the doctor's office. Preparation is key, right, Anya? Think of it like being a detective for your own body. You need to gather clues.
That's a fantastic analogy, Mark. Before you even pick up the phone to make an appointment or walk into the clinic, take a moment to write down what's happening. What are your symptoms? Where does it hurt? When did it start? How long has it been happening? These are your clues.
Yes, even simple bullet points can be a huge help. For example, if you have a sore throat, you might write down, sore throat, started yesterday, hurts when I swallow. Or for a headache, 3 days, behind my eyes, dull ache.
Exactly. And let's talk about making that appointment. Often the first person you speak to is a receptionist. A simple phrase like, "Hello, I'd like to make an appointment, please," is a great start. They might ask, "What is the reason for your visit?" or "Is it urgent?" You can then use those bullet points you prepared, or just say something simple like, "I have a sore throat," or "I'm not feeling well."
Remember to speak slowly here. The receptionist deals with many people, and they appreciate clarity. Don't feel you need to rush or use complex sentences. Slow and easy are truly the key words for this entire process.
Now, let's fast forward a bit. You're at the doctor's office, you've checked in, and you're finally in the examination room. The doctor walks in. This is often where the real anxiety can kick in.
Right. They'll likely start with, "So what brings you in today?" or "How can I help you?" This is your moment to clearly describe your symptoms. Let's practice some of the most common ways to do this. We'll use simple sentences.
Okay, Mark, let's say I'm the patient and you're the doctor. I've got a headache. How would I start?
Okay, Anya, take a deep breath. You could say, "Hello, doctor. I have a headache." Very simple. Then I might ask, "Where does it hurt?"
And I'd reply, "My head hurts here," pointing to my forehead. Or, "It hurts behind my eyes."
Perfect. Then I might ask, "How long have you had this headache?"
"It started yesterday," or "I've had it for 2 days." See how straightforward that can be? No need for elaborate descriptions, just the facts.
Exactly. Let's try another one. What if you have a pain in your stomach? You could say, "I have a stomach ache," or "My stomach hurts." I might then ask, "What kind of pain is it?" This is where you can use simple adjectives. Is it a sharp pain, a dull ache, or a throbbing pain?
And if you don't know the exact word, you can describe it differently. You could say, "It feels like a heavy weight," or "It feels like something is bushing." Don't be afraid to use comparisons or even gestures to help explain. Your hand on your stomach, or rubbing your temples, can communicate a lot.
Anya, what about when the doctor asks you questions and you don't quite understand? This is a crucial moment where many beginners might just nod along even if they're lost.
Oh, that's such a common trap, Mark. And it's so important to avoid it. Your health is too important. There's simple, polite phrases you can use. Try, could you please repeat that? Or, could you speak a little slower, please? Even better, could you explain that in simpler words? Or, what does that mean? Pointing to a word you don't understand.
Those are fantastic. Remember, doctors are trained to help people, and that includes communicating effectively. They are usually very patient with non-native speakers. It's much better to ask for clarification than to misunderstand important information, especially about medication or treatment.
Absolutely. Let's say the doctor gives you a prescription. They'll tell you how to take the medicine. This is another area where slow and easy communication is vital. You might hear phrases like, take 2 pills twice a day with food. If that's too fast, ask, how many pills? How often? With food or without?
And don't forget to ask about potential side effects if they don't mention them. A simple, are there any side effects, can save you a lot of worry later. And if you're unsure about anything, write it down. Most doctors will be happy to wait a moment while you jot down notes.
Yes, having a small notebook and a pen can be your best friend. Write down the name of the medication, the dosage, and the frequency. Even if it's just a few key words, it helps immensely.
So, to recap, the entire process of going to the doctor in English doesn't have to be a source of panic. It's about breaking it down into manageable steps. First, prepare your clues, your symptoms, before you go. Write them down.
Second, when you're communicating, remember our podcast's title, Slow and Easy. Speak slowly. Use simple sentences. And don't try to use complex vocabulary you're unsure of. Clarity is more important than fluency here.
And third, and this is probably the most important for beginners, do not be afraid to ask for repetition or clarification. Phrases like, could you say that again? Or could you explain that simply? Are your best friends in a doctor's office. Your health is worth being clear about.
Exactly. You're not being rude. You're being responsible for your own health. Doctors appreciate that you want to understand. So practice these simple phrases, write down your symptoms, and go into your next appointment with a little more confidence. You absolutely can do this.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Language Unlocked. We hope this has given you some valuable tools and confidence for your next doctor's visit in English.
Thank you for joining us. Keep practicing, keep learning, and remember, slow and easy is the way to go. We'll catch you next time.